It is interesting that there are people that tune in, Mike, they don't want to hear, and on both sides, they don't want to hear competing interests. They don't, as he was saying, we should have a debate in the free marketplace of ideas, but that's not how people select their talk radio shows anymore.
Joe, it's not only talk radio. I mean, Nick, Jonathan, they're both here. We're living through an age where truth and facts are being diminished daily. And I never thought in my lifetime, which has been considerable, that we would have the President of the United States leading the charge to diminish both.
Yeah. Attorney General William Barr defended President Trump's use of executive authority on Friday and attacked Democratic lawmakers for trying to limit his presidential power. During a speech at a conference hosted by the Conservative Federalist Society, Barr said Democrats, quote, essentially see themselves as engaged in a war to cripple by any means necessary a duly elected government.
Immediately after President Trump won election, opponents inaugurated what they called the resistance. And they rallied around an explicit strategy of using every tool and maneuver to sabotage the functioning of the executive branch and his administration. The fact of the matter is that in waging a scorched earth, no-holds-barred war of resistance against this administration, it is the left that is engaged in the systematic shredding of norms and undermining the rule of law.
He's just a liar, and for people in that audience clapping at that, you're disgraceful, shameful, that you are defending Federalist Society. When I was in law school, it stood for something different. It stood for the Constitution, the rule of law. You people are applauding a president and his attorney general who are making the argument that Madisonian checks and balances do not apply because Donald Trump's the president. You are applauding an attorney general who is actually promoting an executive who is saying that Article 2 gives him unlimited power. Is that what, when you handed me out flyers at the University of Florida College of Law, didn't say that you were going all in for a tyrant. Didn't say the purpose of this organization is to promote conservative values on the bench, but in the alternative, we may actually support autocrats in training who say, well, I have unlimited power because of Article 2. This is shocking. I mean, it's hard to be shocked, Mike, every day in the Trump era. But that the Federalist Society and that the Attorney General of the United States are out promoting the idea, Donald Trump's idea, that Article 2 gives a president unlimited power simply because they talked about the resistance. I wonder, where was Barr, by the way, other than making hundreds of millions of dollars? Where was Barr when Mitch McConnell said that his only job over the next 4 years after Obama was elected president was to make him a one-term president? Where was Barr? Does that mean that the Democrats could shred the Constitution? I don't understand.
Joe, everything you've said about Bill Barr and his approach to Article 2 is absolutely on point, except to read the speech, he went much further than that. Nick, you've read the speech. We were talking about it earlier. Some of the elements in this, including his theory, his view on the Freedom of Information Act, which is vital to the process of putting news stories together.
Yeah, that's true. He was suggesting that it's an annoyance and an imposition on the executive to have to require to answer information requests from the media, from the press, and that the Congress had not seen fit to give themselves the same kind of checks and balances. I would just say in response to that, I would welcome a FOIA law that covers Congress. And if he thinks that's unfair, let's find a version of it that meets the Constitution, that can pass. Let's get that done.
Bill Barr's Constitution.
I'd love to have a FOIA law for Congress.
Yeah, but Bill Barr's Constitution is completely different.
Yeah.
Article 2 gives the president unlimited powers, according to Bill Barr. Again, this does such violence to what we conservatives always held as Madisonian checks and balances, a limited limited executive power. It's just outrageous.